First, let's define emotion. An emotion is a pattern of behavior of a living being in response to changes in the external environment. According to research by Robert Plutchart, humans have only 8 basic emotions. These are the couples: joy and sadness, trust and disgust, fear and anger, surprise and anticipation. 3 of them are very ancient and were inherited from reptiles: fear, anger, surprise. The remaining 5 emotions are mammalian acquisitions. It is very likely that humans do not have emotions that other mammals do not have. Man is not a unique being from an emotional point of view. Emotions form pairs. Emotions from one pair in a mentally healthy creature cannot arise simultaneously in response to the same stimulus. Emotions from different pairs can arise simultaneously. Most often, this is what happens. A person, in response to the same change in the external environment, experiences several emotions, forming a cocktail, which we will call a complex emotion. Now let's talk about each basic emotion in more detail. A successful coincidence of circumstances allowed the person to get something tasty, something valuable for himself and for his group. This worked best for those who had the emotion of joy. Joy is a figurative repeated repetition of the success achieved, an attempt to use the resulting superiority to increase success. These are the complex emotions we get when combined with joy. Our ancestors could not survive alone. They had to unite into groups with common long-term goals. The ability to declare and agree on these goals creates mutual trust. Those who survived were those who managed to carry trust between group members through generations. Trust refers not only to the interactions between people, but also to the results of their work. Weapons, clothing, food are elements of trust within a group and between groups. These are the complex emotions we get when combined with trust. The brave men have been in the grave for a long time. Poems and poems are written about them, but their life is not long. Fear is one of the most ancient emotions, allowing us to survive generation after generation. Having detected a threat, the emotion of fear turns on the oldest reaction: run away. These are the complex emotions we get when combined with fear. When finding yourself in unfamiliar conditions, it was necessary to be careful. It was necessary to stop in time to reduce the risk. Take time to study new unusual events, and notice the smallest signs of a changed situation. The creatures that survived were the ones who knew how to be surprised by the changed signs. The survivors retained an emotion of surprise. These are the complex emotions we get when combined with surprise. A person constantly suffers losses. Relatives die. Wealth and even the most essential things that are necessary for daily existence are lost. Against the backdrop of constant failures and continuous losses among our ancestors, those who could part with thoughts of what was lost in time survived. Those who could detach themselves from lost things and people in time survived. The emotion of sadness helped them in this. Performing a ritual, time-limited act of sadness. These are the complex emotions we get when combined with sadness. How unpleasant food can be when you haven't eaten for many days. Nevertheless, pickiness in food, overcoming the desire for hunger when food is unpleasant, allowed our ancestors to survive. No matter how rich or useful your fellow tribesman may be, his values and way of life are disgusting to us. Disgust helped our ancestors not to deal with what is unfit for food and not to deal with people with incompatible values. These are the complex emotions we get when combined with disgust. Overcoming obstacles is an important ability of any kind. The world around us is not a sanatorium or a resort. Anger helps to discover in yourself the strength to overcome obstacles in time, to mobilize and complete the task, despite losses. These are the complex emotions we get when combined with anger. Man, like any animal, is a very curious creature. Our ancestors most often found themselves in a new territory or area by force. Either the natural conditions in the previous area changed, or predators attacked and destroyed everyone who tried to stay. Only those who, overcoming fear, explored new terrain and were ready to develop new rules of existence in unfamiliar conditions survived. These are the complex emotions we get when combined with anticipation.